All right. I'm here. Didn't know if I was going to make it on time, guys. Just got back from basketball practice. So, um, I got 6 people in here, 7 getting in here now. So, there's Anna. Hi, Anna. Thank you guys for tuning. I hope you guys had a pretty good day. Thought it was going well. I did see a little bit of snow flurries here, but nothing worth really talking about. I can't wait till we get our first big snow. There's Ashley, Ada. Well, come on in, guys. Come on in. We'll wait for a few people to get in here. Hound Lover, Molly, M, Marie. Evening, Marie, or M, and hello, Marie. Sorry, I just got back from a basketball practice, so I am wore out. Hound Lover says I rarely make it to lives. It's good to see you too. And hey, Ada. Hey, Anna. Suzanne. What is up? Ada, did you mean it's snowing like crazy in Cleveland? Like Cleveland, Ohio? Y'all, you guys are probably getting some of that lake effect snow. I don't think our lakes are big enough down here to get lake effect snow. That'd be awesome, though. Oh, well, I was running the court, so I was shooting some hoops while my little boy was doing his practice. So me and some of the other parents get together and we just kind of like play horse or whatever. So get together and realize, well, we're out of shape. That's what we do. We just get together and be like, okay, yeah, we're out of shape. We should really just go to the other court and just eat Taco Bell or something. Have a picnic on the basketball court. M says, can't wait to get into Wilkes, North Carolina, first of next month. I survived the high winds. Oh, okay. Yeah. The winds are actually pretty. I think we had like 25-mile-an-hour winds here in Tennessee today, or East Tennessee. Oh, thank you, Rebecca. Appreciate it. Yeah, a big storm headed up the coast there. I was wanting to take my metal detector. I got it put up now. I was wanting to take my metal detector and go down to Myrtle Beach and hit the beach with it and see what kind of relics and stuff I could find. That would have been pretty cool because they always say you can find some really cool stuff right after a big, surge. Whenever there's a storm, that'd be pretty cool. I tell you what I'd like to do too. I'd like to take a metal detector somewhere where there's been a, like a crime committed, like a long time ago or something like that, or near the scene of a crime where a crime was committed. Get that sucker like maybe in a creek or something. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do that this summer. I'm gonna get my metal detector and we're gonna go hit some creeks, like where people would throw stuff off bridges. And we're going to see what we can find. That'd be kind of interesting. Would y'all like that? You never know. Might find a pew pew and a knife and all kinds of stuff. Anyway, guys, if you didn't catch my live last night, you can go back and watch it if you want to. I was talking about the whole issue with the university deciding to tear down the house that the Idaho 4 got taken out in by Bryan Kohberger. So, and it's a shame that they're jumping the gun on it and all that. I think with the house, a lot of, well, let's hurry up and get this done happened way too soon. Um, I got to laying in the bed last night, and I thought, well, it's not going to matter anyway. The jury is screwed if they want to go look at it anyway, whether they, even if they don't tear it down. The jury is still screwed if they want to go look at it, because they cleaned it. That didn't hit, that really didn't sink in and hit me until I was laying in the bed last night. I was like, well, they're just going to go to the furniture's gone, the beds are gone. Do y'all remember them taking all that stuff out? It was all over the news and everything. Y'all remember when they cleaned it out? And then some, I think some biohazard company came in and cleaned it too. So, I mean, it's just completely, there's nothing in it. I mean, it would be basically what you would call move-in ready, So I was just like, there's still a little bit of stuff it would, the jurors could get out of it, like maybe the acoustics, how long it would probably take to go up and down the stairs, from third floor, second floor, just minor things like that. But, if they had left it the way it was and not got in a hurry to clean it and all this stuff, just left everything in there too. Just left the furniture and everything in there, right? Then the jurors could have got in there. Of course, they could have probably wore a gas mask if they wanted to, because I'm sure, it would smell. Yeah, that's, yeah, they do have a ton of evidence, Ada. And I'm going to talk about that too. I'm going to talk about some of that evidence. So let's get into it. But yeah, again, I just want to say that, the jurors are going to be screwed, even if the university decides, okay, we'll tear it down after the trial. When they go in the house, there ain't going to be nothing to see, So what I want to show you, hopefully you guys, I should have done this on StreamYard that way I could share my screen with you, but I had already announced it. I'm doing my lives through YouTube. If y'all ain't noticed, I'm doing it through YouTube and not StreamYard. So let me show you a picture here and tell me if you guys remember this. Do you guys remember the skid marks there? See the skid marks? And they're photographing them and measuring them. Well, come to find out, I was reading an article today, and apparently around 426, somewhere around the time of the crime, and even on camera, more than likely, I'm just assuming that, the camera. Now there was a camera apparently on that apartment complex right next to, maybe two cameras. There's one on each side of 1122 King Road. Anyway, Bryan Kohberger done a burnout leaving that night. That's where those skid marks come from. I'm just assuming. I shouldn't state that as fact. But the article said that he done a burnout around 426 and left King Street at a high rate of speed. So I'm just assuming those are Bryan Kohberger's skid marks. And what was so strange about that to me, me being a guy, I'm like, wait a minute. There's 2 skid marks. That's like pause a track. That's like, a real rear wheel drive muscle car or pickup truck, something like that. You know what I mean? Because there's 2 skid marks. So I thought there's no way in the world a front wheel drive will leave 2 skid marks, because mostly one wheel in the front does all the work, right? I'm wrong. So I had to go do some research on that. I should have done this during a live stream and done this with you. Y'all could like investigate with me. That'd be pretty cool. Next time I'll have to do that with you guys. I have to get StreamYard up and going again. But apparently on a front wheel drive car, if the road is wet, there's leaves on it, or it's slick, as of some snow on that hill on King Road, you can see where the car came over and then they finally grabbed and went up the hill, and they said he done like a 3-point turnaround and left at a high rate of speed. So yes, a front wheel drive doing a burnout on wet surfaces can leave 2 skid marks. They can leave 2 burnout patterns. I did not know that until I went and researched it. Robert Ellison says, why would someone spin their tires when leaving a crime scene? I have no idea. But again, Robert, apparently this was all captured on video, more than likely. Maybe even a witness in the apartments, heard the tires squealing. And while Bryan was doing his 3-point turnaround right there at the apartments, they probably looked out their window or door or something and seen him speeding off. And again, like I said, maybe the cameras caught it. Now, I do know the one camera, not the big, long apartment complex, but the other, I guess you'll call it a house, the rental beside 1122 King Road, they had a camera outside with sound. So that one, the one where they caught the whimpering and the thud, and the dog barking, that one would have definitely, captured Bryan Kohberger leaving, and would have captured definitely the tires spinning out. So, hey, Patsy. So that's Robert, I can't understand. I don't. I mean, why would someone go do what they done, Robert? Why would someone do what they done? You can't. I had figured out a long time ago, you can't try to explain within reason why criminals do what they do. You know what I mean? It just, it just. I mean, I just can't explain it. Yeah, there are too many weirdos in this world, Ada. Too many weirdos. So what else was I going to talk about? Oh yeah. So, and I got to listening to a news article. I'm thinking, I think it was KREM, KREM, or something like that. I was listening to a news article on YouTube, and they said that the FBI followed Bryan Kohberger all the way from Idaho to Pennsylvania to where his dad lived, right? And then that's where they arrested him. I missed it somehow. Somehow I missed it, but they said that they pulled DNA from the trash at Bryan Kohberger's dad's house. They were watching, I guess, Bryan Kohberger throw stuff away. And that DNA in the trash can in Pennsylvania matched the DNA on the sheath at the crime scene in Idaho. Now, that's a long way from each other. The defense is going to have a heck of a time with that one, guys. What do you think? You think they're going to have a heck of a time with that one? Yeah, Anna, there was. I was listening to the captain or whoever he was talking. It sounds like there is a lot of camera evidence, a lot of it. I mean, when I guess when the prosecutor is going to ask, how did your DNA from, I don't know if it's 1,500 miles or not, but like how do you get DNA from Pennsylvania that matches up to DNA at a crime scene in Idaho? I mean, that's we may get some funny looks on the defense attorney's face at that point. Well, I mean, if they do ask that question, you know what I mean? And a juror may even have, it's something for the jury too, when you mention that to the jury, the jury's going to be like, yeah, how did that evidence, you know what I mean? They're making a good point here. How did this evidence, 2,000 miles away match up with the evidence on a sheath that was actually in the crime scene? And then I started thinking, could the defense start talking like any of the evidence, is it contaminated? Because we seen that in the OJ trial. We seen that big time in the OJ trial about the, evidence being contaminated and all that stuff. Let's see. Patsy K says, is Brian's DNA or his dad's? Is that Brian's DNA or his dad's? Funny how dad and B was together and so far from home. Yeah. That's I think the dad was doing the fatherly thing. I'd say Brian reached out to his dad and was like, can you help me? Can you help me? I'm gonna come home. Can you help? I'm sure Brian didn't tell him. I just assume, God forbid if Brian's parents helped him, get rid of evidence. You know what I mean? So what do y'all think? I mean, bringing that up, Patsy, do y'all think Brian's dad may have helped him try to destroy evidence? Or do you think Brian was just taking advantage of his parents to try to, get out of what he done? Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, his sisters were suspicious of him. Yeah. Okay. So I'm thinking, I mean, who knows? But I'm sure if in the process of monitoring Bryan Kohberger, I'm pretty sure if the FBI thought Dad was trying to help Bryan cover up this crime, I'm sure that Dad would have been arrested too. You know what I mean? Especially by now. So, that's how I feel about that. So, um, Oh, yeah. And I had to double check this just to make sure. Um, well, I'm gonna hold this off. I just thought of something in the whole scheme of the defense trying to say that evidence was contaminated. I got to looking, and so remember the evidence that was pulled out of Bryan Kohberger's apartment. In that, let me see what all we have here. We had quite a bit, didn't we? Let me see. I'm gonna call out. There's like a bunch of stuff here. There's like 15 different things. I'm sure there's probably more than that. I'm just call out the important ones here. 8 possible hair strands. 1 possible animal hair strand. 1 collection of dark red spot collected without testing. 2 cuttings from an uncased pillow of reddish brown stain. Larger stain tested. Um, 2 top and bottom of mattress cover packaged separately, both labeled C. Multiple stains, 1 tested. Now, I really don't think the defense can say that evidence is going to be what was tampered with or contaminated or anything like that, just because the evidence at 1122 King Road was handled by the county and the city, in Idaho, whatever county that Moscow fell in. I don't know what county. Anybody know what county Moscow fell in Idaho? What county that was? I'm thinking I know it. If you said it, I know it. It's on the tip of my tongue. Let me see. What county is Moscow, Idaho in?
Latta County, Idaho.
Lada
According
County.
to LattaCountyID.gov, Latta County, Idaho. Latta County Incorporated Cities.
Okay, so it's in Latah County. That's it. Latah County. That's right. Latah. Okay, so Latah County and Moscow are in control of the evidence, collecting the evidence and all that stuff at 1122 King Road. Okay. Bryan's apartment was in Pullman, Washington, a totally different state, totally different city, totally different county. So you're going to have different people, completely different people collecting that evidence. So there's no way, there's no way, in my opinion, they can holler, well, it's contaminated because you had the detective in Moscow come out and go in Bryan Kohberger's apartment. He could have had a hair on him from the crime scene and it fell off of him at Bryan Kohberger's apartment. There you go. It's contaminated. That they're, you had 2 totally different departments collecting evidence here, which should nip that part right there in the bud. And I didn't think about that until last night too. Yeah, the Idaho State Police, they got the state police too. So they would be kind of like TBI of Tennessee. So yeah, there again, there's another speed bump, if you will, for the defense. Another speed bump for the defense. Now, last thing I want to talk about. Anybody got any questions up until now? Okay, Cammy says 1122 house was contaminated, however. Yeah, you had people going in. What was it? I guess the people before they called 911, I guess they must have went in. Enjoying listening. Thank you, baby kisses. Um, oh, hi, American Princess. I'm trying to see if I see anybody new in here I didn't call out. But the house the house was contaminated. Yeah. Um, but and you did have people going in and out, I guess, that discovered the bodies and called 911. Um, but as far as just that contamination, if that's what you're talking about, Cami, I think we're good there. I think we're good there. The contamination I'm talking about is police officers going in there and then making their way into Kohberger's apartment later on. That's the contamination I'm talking about. And I'm still curious about the front door being open, allegedly. Has anybody gotten, uh, hey, Beauty for Ashes, has anybody gotten confirmation? I'm gonna try to look, and I may call News Nation, and I don't know, I may even call they probably won't say nothing. I may call some of the news outlets to confirm. Does anybody know for a fact if that front door was left open? Uh, or was that front door open just about all morning? So I remember hearing about that, but I don't think I really went and looked at any news articles or anything like that about that front door, factually being open all morning. Let's see, American Princess says when they collected the blood from BK's apartment, and Dawn Daniels has it for 10 days before she turned it in, remember? So who's Dawn Daniels? Oh, okay. Okay. So, well, I mean, that don't sound right. That don't sound right because normally when you're collecting evidence, um, there's a chain of command and a time frame too. I just can't see. I mean, is that a rumor or is that fact? Because I just can't see someone collecting evidence like that and not putting it in like an igloo cooler or an evidence uh, thing, and it's just, yeah, that just seems weird. And normally the evidence, and I just don't let anybody collect the evidence either. When you get a team in there, when it starts to get specialized, you're bringing in like FBI evidence teams, state evidence teams. Um, they're meticulous. They'll suit up, they'll get what they need, bag it, tag it, and there's a process that they go through. It's not like you're you're getting a souvenir and storing it away for a little bit before doing anything with it. That's not how it works. So that's why I was wondering. I mean, is it rumor or is that fact? Let's see, but she turned most of it over, but it isn't. It is in document. It's in a document in the court system. Well, I mean, if she held on to evidence for 10 days without turning it in, I mean, that's, that definitely is something that the defense can fuss about, but we'll see what plays out. Now, hopefully, but in the totality of things, if that's all that they've got to be worried about as far as evidence contamination, I don't think I'm too worried about that. All right, so now for one of the most probably damning piece of evidence, there's probably going to be several. This is probably one of the most. DNA is going to be one, but this is going to be another one. The car. So what do y'all think about the car? Before I even get started talking about the car, do y'all think it's going to be important? The white 2015 Hyundai Elantra. Well, I think it will be very important. But there'll be a lot of questions come out about that car. So Ada says defense is going to say wrong year of the car. Okay, let's see. I think camera and phone pings. Yeah, okay. So here's one. Okay, so if they try to say it's the wrong year of the car, Ada, then the prosecutor will come back and say, well, can you explain why the victim's DNA was in Bryan Kohberger's car? The victim's blood must have transferred from Bryan Kohberger to his car when he got in it to speed off. Can the defense explain why the victim's blood and their DNA in that blood was in Bryan Kohberger's car if they pull that out of Bryan Kohberger's car? What do y'all think about that? Because they pulled, I read where they pulled his seats out, and I heard that Bryan Kohberger tried to clean his car, but I guess, and also they're saying if he tried to use bleach, that'll show too, and that'll be another big speed bump for the defense. It'll show him. It'll show trying to clean the evidence. You know what I mean? But that they said that there'll be blood down in the cushion part of the seats. There'll be blood in the nooks and crannies of the buttons on the steering wheels. I guess the steering wheels have volume buttons on them and cruise control button. I guess steering wheels nowadays have like tons of buttons on them. It'll be in the nooks and crannies of the gear shifter area, the floor mat, the floorboard, door handles, nooks and cranny of the door handles, and if you've ever tried to clean up blood, it's really hard. Okay. And I'm telling you right now, 100%, not that I've done anything bad, guys. Not that I've done anything bad. I'm just talking from a nosebleed. Um, have you guys ever had a child with a really bad nosebleed, or you've had nosebleed, um, and you're just trying to clean the blood out of the sink? It's hard just getting all of it out of the sink, right? Especially if it's kind of dried a little bit, had time to clot and all that. Imagine if it's, gotten down into some nooks and crannies of the steering wheel and some other places. You know what I mean? Um, let's see. Hound Lover says, I think there wasn't blood in the car because he was naked. He was the naked guy running down the street. Okay. And then Baby Kisses says, women bleed, Dawn. What do you mean women bleed? I think I'm missing something here. Cammy says, no blood in his car. Did they announce that there's no blood in the car, Cammy? Because I'm telling you right now, if I was to stab 4 people to death and cut them like he did, allegedly, I'm taking that blood with me to my car. I guarantee it. And no wonder some of that blood even got transferred all the way to his apartment, too. You're talking, well, I mean, look, there was blood coming out of the walls to the outside of 1122 King Road. There was that much blood that the house was bleeding. I have no doubt that there's blood all in that car. You're talking about taking a Rambo knife and cutting arteries, organs, um, piercing bone with it, and then getting it all over your shoes when you're leaving. Because if he went in that room with Ethan there at the door, like if he took Ethan out first, he's going to cause a big mess right there at that door where Ethan and him had that exchange. And then as he goes into the room, the thud against the wall, and then he starts taking care of, Ethan's girlfriend. He's got to come back out of that room. There's only one way in and one way out. And I guarantee you, Ethan bleeding out all over in front of that door, he's gonna walk through it. He ain't really concerned about where he's stepping at that point. You know what I mean? And there was no evidence of him cleaning his car. Well, I mean, okay, well, we'll just leave that as it is. Um, we'll just leave it out then. We'll just say he didn't clean his car. So, but again, how are you going to explain, Xana, Ethan, Kaylee? How are you going to explain all their blood if it is in Bryan Kohberger's car? How are you going to explain that? Now, Heidi, how would you know? Because I bet that stuff has been kept secret. Hold on, Heidi. I'm waiting for your comment to get above this heart here where I can read it. Hang on just a second. There we go. According to defense documents, no connection to victims. Okay. Well, the defense just had something thrown in their face today. Also, I guess they tried to get the what was that? They tried to get dismissed. Anyway, Bryan Kohberger tried to get something dismissed today. His attorneys did, and it got denied. So I'm not taking too much of what Bryan Kohberger's defense says and does at this point. Yeah, the indictment dismissed. They were wanting the indictment dismissed. Well, that kind of blew up in their face, didn't it? You know, but again, everybody's innocent till proven guilty. Let me throw that out there in a court of law, not a court of YouTube. But let's see, Heidi is right. Lack of blood in car was mentioned by defense when they tried to explain away his not driving, etc. I don't know. Yeah. Well, his defense is 0 for 1 right now. I'm not taking. I'll see what comes out with the police. Let's see what the police have to say over the defense. And if that's the case, the police and the prosecution, they can, because I'm sure that's in the discovery. It can be provided by the prosecution, right? I'm telling you guys, I could gut a deer and I'm taking that blood to my car with me. I'm telling you right now. So, I mean, if I stick a knife and, if I slash someone's face 10 times and, almost cut their head off, and I'm taking the blood to the car with me. Okay. It's going with me. I'm just telling you right now. I've shot a turkey with a shotgun and carried it to my truck and threw it in the back of the truck and transferred blood into my truck. And blood does get sticky quickly. But you got to also understand, Bryan done this within 15 minutes, got in his car and took off. Allegedly, Bryan done this in 15 minutes, got in his car and took off, And also the amount of blood matters too, because a big glob of blood is going to take longer to clot and harden than a smaller spot of blood. You see what I'm saying? And those, like if Bryan did have clumps of blood on his shoes, he very well could have transferred that to the carpet in the car. So, but I'll go see. I'll go do some research. Yeah, it ran out of that house. I mean, I'm telling you right now, there was so much blood in that house. If Bryan done this, he took that blood to the car with him. I'm surprised there wasn't bloody footprints going through the dang parking lot or wherever he ran off to. I don't know if he ran up the hill, down the hill. All I know is that, they do have digital evidence of the car doing a burnout and doing a 3-point turnaround at 1122 King Road. Um, and again, I don't know. I mean, who knows what was in his, if Bryan done it, who knows what was, I mean, the dude's weird. Okay. The dude's weird. I'm not going to try to reason why he done anything. Okay. I'm not going to try to reason why he done anything. Like if he did do this, I'm not even going to attempt to reason why Bryan Kohberger killed 4 people for nothing. You know, I'm just, no, I can't. You know what I mean? I can't. And again, um, let me know what you guys think. Do you think that Bryan Kohberger done this, or do you think it's someone else? I mean, do you think that they will prove that Bryan Kohberger done this in court, or do you? I mean, well, now we've not even went to court or anything yet, but how many of y'all believe that Bryan Kohberger is the guy? Do you think police have the right guy? So mostly yeses. There's one no. PM Anderson. Hmm. Take it easy. Says not alone. Oh yeah. Any of y'all still on the? Any of y'all still kind of suspicious of the surviving roommates? I'm not. I'm not because you know I'm sure police would have had time by now to prove if they had anything to do with it. But that's just my opinion. I don't think they have anything to do with it. What do y'all think? Do y'all think that the surviving roommates had anything to do with it or not? Yeah, it'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting stuff when God, there's going to be all. Can you imagine all the witnesses that are going to be called for this? Um, the DoorDash driver is going to be called to testify. You're going to have mechanics called to testify about the tire pattern, the burnout pattern, and the right there in front of the parking lot, 1122 King Road. Um, you're going to have, crime scene technicians testifying. You're going to have psychologists testifying, and the sad thing is that's you're going to have the victims, um, friends, and acquaintances probably of that night testifying too, and they'll. And the thing is, guys. And I'll just leave on this note here. We're getting close to an hour. Um, I'll leave on this note here. Um, whoever done this, okay, even if justice is served, right, you still can't bring back those 4 individuals. There's still 4 families, a bunch of family members, hundreds of friends, hundreds of acquaintances of these victims. That'll never they'll never be able to spend another day with them again. They're gone. They're just gone. Even though you get justice for them in court, can't bring them back. Hey, Kathy, what's going on? So that's what I want to leave you with right there. whoever's responsible for this, and whatever kind of justice gets served in the courts for these victims, it's not going to bring them back. So, and that's what I want to leave you guys with tonight in regards to that aspect of it. I think we still got a long way before the trial starts. I've not even looked at when the trial's supposed to start. Is it when's it supposed to start? Like in the spring of next year? Anybody know? I'll have to look that back up. I've been so focused on, the possible evidence in this case. I've not even looked at when the trial dates. They've not come up with a start to the trial date yet. Thank you, Ada. So they're still working. There's no DNA. Okay, Heidi, I understand. But they've not come up. They're still hashing everything out as far as preliminary stuff. All right. So, when is the trial date for Bryan Kohberger? Yeah, no. Okay, so the judge set a December 1st deadline to review DNA evidence. No trial date has been set. Okay. Wow. Okay. So yeah. So we'll keep tabs on that, and we'll keep tabs on. We'll keep tabs on what all goes on between now and then, because I'm sure there will probably be. I'm sure there'll probably be some things that the defense will try to do, like they just did with the thing that got denied. You know what I mean? I'm sure there'll be more stuff the defense will try to do that will end up getting denied by the judge or approved or so. So it'll probably even cause delays in the trial. Who knows? But we'll keep tabs on that. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed the live tonight. Yeah, I seen that, Cammy. There's the nut. Yeah, they still got a long way to go, apparently. They still got a long way to go, I guess. And good luck finding someone that hasn't heard about this. Can you imagine the jury selection in this? I mean, who hasn't? I mean, right? So, anyway, guys, if you're just coming into the live, give it a few minutes to process. I'm not sure how YouTube does it, but you can watch it on replay. And again, I was just going over some of the possible evidence that could be used in the trial. And also, it hit me last night that, hey, even if the university does give in and leave the house up until after the trial, it's been wiped clean. It's been cleaned by a biohazard company, and all the furniture and everything's been moved out. So it's like the jury is still screwed if they want to go in there and look at, blood splatter on the wall, or, a pool of blood by the door on the second floor. I mean, that's all gone. It's all gone for the jury to see. So, I mean, they're, like I said, even though if the university decides to leave it up till after the trial, I don't know. I don't know what to tell the jurors if they want to go look at it. You know what I mean? Which, if they do decide to tear it down before the trial, there again, what do you tell the jury? What do you tell them? You know. So, but anyway, guys, like I said, if you're just coming in, you can go catch it on the replay, and drop some comments. Let me know what you think about what I talked about tonight. And again, Heidi, I heard you. You didn't have to keep repeating yourself. So you guys take it easy. Appreciate you tuning in, and I'll see you tomorrow.